EA has updated its Star Wars Twitter account with a new Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order banner, as well as posting a cryptic tease for Respawn's Entertainment's upcoming game. The tweet features an animated image depicting what appears to be the severed hilt of a lightsaber laid on a stone surface with engravings, and a caption, "Don't stand out." So, yeah, interesting. I mean, not much to go off, but I'm definitely excited for this game, so I can't wait to see the trailer.
Yeah, no, me too. I know a lot of people have been down on Star Wars and EA and Star Wars games and movies and everything associated with it, but I actually think this could potentially be a turning point in terms of the game side of it. Anyway, I mean, we've had Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2, which I don't think any of us actually minded. To be fair, like there was a lot of controversy with 2, but the actual game itself's fine. I think it's quite fun. Obviously, the controversy with the microtransactions kind of soured everyone to EA and Star Wars games, but this one's been made by Respawn, who have a really good track record. Of course, they made Titanfall 1, which me and Perks, I think we enjoyed that online. Some people weren't so keen, but Titanfall 2 as well, I thought was a great game. I thought the single player campaign was one of the best campaigns of this generation. Actually, I thought it was really fun, and the online was good again as well. So they've got a good track record, and of course, we all know what they've made recently. Massive success with Apex Legends, and which is a solid, really solid game.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have much. I actually have quite a lot of faith in them. I don't have many doubts that this game will be good. And I'd actually say that now. If I'm wrong, we'll come back to this and you can criticize me for it. But I'm gonna make a bold prediction that I think the game will be really good. Actually, I've got quite a lot of faith in it.
I think it'll be good.
Yeah,
I got
I
faith
do.
as well.
I even have faith with what they're going for. I like the name as well. I think the name is really good, actually. Jedi Fallen Order. It's quite a good name, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think
Do you know
for a game.
the only thing that worries me
Yeah.
is that you're a Padawan in between episode 3 and 4, and the only thing I don't like is obviously we've seen the film universe, so we know what happens, and we're not really going to impact it that much, are we?
No.
In this game, because we can't.
No.
So that's the only thing I don't like. I don't like things
it's
like
similar
that.
to the Force Unleashed games. They were set between 3 and 4, weren't they?
Yeah, and you know what? I didn't really like them. I liked the game to play, but the story of having like Star Killer and stuff, I was like, this is stupid.
I think the story could have done a bit more work, but I've got more faith in Respawn. That Titanfall 2 story was really good, so I've got faith that they can deliver. I imagine it'll be a much better campaign than Battlefront 2's campaign, which I think's a really bad campaign, personally. Quite boring campaign. Yeah, it's just boring. There's just nothing to it. It's kind of boring and nothing really happens. So I've had a lot more faith they'll do a better job. I'd like to get your thoughts on it, Pers, because I know you're a big Respawn fan, aren't you? So.
Absolutely. Like, there's no point me echoing what you've already said, that they're on a hot streak right now. That's for sure. I don't think this is going to go the same way as a Battlefront 2 campaign or anything like that. Let's face it, this is what we've wanted for the longest time. This is a single player only narrative, if you like. This is the adventure we've wanted since Knights of the Old Republic, right? So, top developer, top idea. There seems to be nothing that can go wrong here, unless, I mean, there's always a but. I kind of want to flesh out a little bit more the thoughts on where Luke was going before. It's in the middle of a story that we already know the start, the beginning, and end to. So, what are we really going to be doing within there that inspires us? I think it's quite important that with this game, in my opinion anyway, that everything we see is things that we just haven't seen or heard of before. These are all things that are going to have taken place completely beneath the surface. We're not going to know certain characters' stories, where they came from, where they end up, because we won't have seen them in the film series. We don't know who they are. So it's conceivable that we'll see characters that we will assume will die, that will live, and vice versa. And everything within this game can literally just be made up, in all honesty.
Can it, though? Because are they not going to be canon? Because it's Disney. I don't. Yeah, I actually don't know the rule on it. Whether I don't know if any of you used to actually know. Is there something where Disney say you have to make something meaningful because it is going to be canon? No, I don't. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is it doesn't need to be something that we've seen already before.
No, that's
so
true.
It can absolutely be canon, but it can be made from the ground up, because they can be stories that haven't been told.
Yeah,
things that we haven't seen in the films.
That's why I don't like it though, because we're still in the time frame where the overall story we know the end to.
See, I'm okay
So we
with
know
it.
it's not going to impact it at all.
But we
really.
don't properly know about the Jedi, do we? We do, because we know in the canon there's still some Jedi remaining after the Order 66, and
I think Clone Wars touches on it. That the
Yeah.
current series that's going on. I think it's Clone Wars.
So what I'm saying by that
animated
is though that there's supposed to be some Jedi still. There kind of can be stories in between that. I think. Now I get what I understand your point of view as well, where it's like, well, what's the point? Because none of it's going to matter. We know the Empire is still going to build a Death Star and things like that. Fine, but I don't think that means that they can't have a good story. They can still do a good story.
Oh no, it definitely can be good.
Yeah.
It's not that. It's more of a nitpick of mine because that's just a personal preference. I would have loved it if it was set in an old Republic sort of era where I don't know anything that happens. And they can introduce characters and be like, wow, this is cool. This is a massive story. Oh, so this happened. Whereas in this one, it's just not going to impact like the Empire and stuff like you mentioned.
Generally speaking, like me and you agree on that. Like we're not big prequel fans, if you like. I know this is set in the middle, but still technically counts as a prequel in terms of the canon, sure. But the fact that it's not just playing through things that we've already seen on screen, because that would be boring. Things that we already know from start to finish what happens. This can have good guys and bad guys that we haven't seen before that don't necessarily have to come to the end or the means that we expect from them in this game. Like just because we know we're not going to impact the Empire or the Jedi Order in particular in this game, the characters within it can still be amazing. The bad guys don't necessarily have to die, and the good guys don't necessarily have to live, or again, the opposite way around. They do have the freedom of that because this is fresh. We haven't seen this before, and that's where I'm a bit more optimistic than I normally would be about something that just falls in the middle of a story we already know.
Yeah. I'm just always annoyed, like, if something falls in the middle of a story, it's like, this character is really powerful, and then you think back to the film, it's like, well, it's kind of ruined that story, because where's this character? Because this character would have beat Vader, or something like that, do you know?
Force Unleashed, but I don't think we'll get that in this game. I mean, this looks, and again, we have very little information about Fallen Order.
Yeah, this is all speculation at the moment, isn't it, really?
Yeah, the concept that we're led to believe from the article and the teaser is that you're a lone Jedi, you're trying to stay undetected and fight back, basically. But you're in that period of time where being undetected and surviving, and there seems to be a lot of secrecy about the character that you're going to play, especially with the lightsaber hilt that, like you said, seems to be cut in half.
Yeah, it just says you're a Padawan, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So you're not going to have the stupidity of Starkiller or something like that. It should be a lot more personable, which is something that I like.
Yeah, I mean, they've got the comics to draw from as well, because they expanded more on Vader going around during this time period, taking out the remaining Jedi, so I guess they can use stories from that.
That was kind of what The Force Unleashed was about, wasn't it? Vader sort of goes around, he goes to like Kashyyyk trying to seek out the Jedi, and then he finds Starkiller and things like that. But
Baby Starkiller.
Yeah, Baby Starkiller. But I think it seems, doesn't it, with the Padawan stuff, that it's going to be something where they just kind of missed one went under the radar, and one maybe escaped from the Jedi Temple. Yeah,
Master Skywalker. There's too many of them.
He somehow got away.
Yeah. No, that kid's a Force ghost.
Yeah, he's gone.
He's going to be in the game as a Force ghost.
You can imagine sort of the opening scene, can't you? Like going back to that, like going back to the Jedi, temple getting burned down, and he maybe escapes and is injured and vows revenge, and the game starts from there. Maybe,
or she.
I can imagine that, or she,
or she,
could be whatever it is.
Character.
I mean, you might get to even. Who knows? It might even get to choose. You could possibly even get to choose. I don't know.
I'd assume you'd get to choose. You tend to with most games like this.
I don't know though. With Respawn, they tend to do. I'm not sure.
I was just going to say that. I think it's probably going to be decided for you.
Oh, do you guys reckon? I didn't play Titanfall or anything like that. So.
Well, I'm just because I don't know about you, Piss. I think the game will play very similarly to Titanfall in certain ways. Not in all ways, but I think it'll feel like Apex, and I think it'll feel like Titanfall with the gameplay anyway. I don't think there'll be much difference. I think. Why would they change it? That formula, the way they get their games feel great. Let's be honest. Titanfall 2 is a great game, feeling game.
And I think I know what you're getting at. I just don't think it's going to be so fast-paced at least
No, they'll slow it
in
down.
majority. Sure, they're going to
No.
have lightsaber duels, which will
Yeah.
flow and feel really fluid, which I'm excited about. But generally speaking, if this game plays with the pace of a Titanfall,
No,
I
it won't be
think
that
that
fast.
would be off.
I just mean the way it even the way it looks and things like that, the way it feels, the way your character moves. I don't think there'll be too much. Yeah, maybe slow down a little bit. I get that, but I think, like you said, with the lightsaber duels, I think they will be frenetic. I think they'll be fast and frenetic, and I think that works. Respawn do that well, the fast gameplay. So I'm actually, yeah, I agree with you. I'm the gameplay might even outshine everything else about the game, possibly. I do actually think that. I think it could be really good in that department.
Has there been a Star Wars game yet that's really nailed the lightsaber battle? I can't really think of one. I can't really remember.
What were the
Force
ones
Unleashed?
in Force Unleashed?
Yeah,
Like,
I can't really remember.
I seem to remember them being pretty decent. I think they were pretty good. But
I'm honestly not a fan. Like I remember back, I think
for the time, they might have
difficult
been good.
thing is with the lightsaber duels, right? You have this stuck between a rock and a hard place. If you make it so that you can do what they can do within the films, you end up with just manic button bashing and swinging your lightsaber as fast as you can, and it's kind of detracts from what it should actually be. And the flip side of that is you get a For Honor situation where everything has to be timed and very precise, and that's not a lightsaber duel in any kind of other universe. It's just, it would be slow motion. It would be horrendous. So
they need to find a balance somehow.
I don't know how they will, but short of QuickTime events, I don't really see that being a massive positive in the game. I think it will be good, and I'm excited about it, but yeah, I guess I do have that pessimism at the same time.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited about it, but yeah, just sometimes with the lightsaber battles, it just becomes button mashing, really, doesn't it? Just swing.
Yeah, but I suppose, like you said, we'll wait and see, won't we? It's not long now, so.
Do we know if it's going to be first or third person?
We don't know.
No idea. I guess we'll find out on Saturday.
I would assume first person, just based on what they've done before.
Yeah, I would with it being Respawn. I'm thinking with that universe, or third person would be quite cool too.
Yeah, be interesting to see what they do.
Oh, I definitely prefer a third person, personally.
For a Star Wars game, I think third person would make more sense, but it would also be interesting to see in first person as well. It'd just be interesting to see the game. I'm just looking forward to seeing it, to be honest.
Yeah, same.
See what it's like.
Looking forward to learning some more about it as well.